What's up, everybody? Let's talk Jets radio. The New York Jets are the gift that keeps on giving. We can't even get through a full stream without breaking news that, according to Rich Cimini, I guess on his podcast, that there's already locker room turmoil, that, defensive players are starting to get pissed off. And you could see this thing coming from a mile away because this is the exact same script that happened last year. The locker room revolted against Zach. They had enough. They were all pulling for Mike White. They all wanted to see somebody else in there. And I think these players, to a man, each realize that this team is good enough if there is at least competent quarterback play. So for the team to not only refuse to sign somebody for 2 weeks, and then they bring in Trevor Siemian, who's probably one of the worst available options that they could have signed, but to wait this long and then to go out of your way to constantly praise Zach Wilson and to say it's everybody else. That's where Saleh, I think, lost most of the guys in the locker room because he said it after the game and then he said it again yesterday that coaches and players need to be better around Zach Wilson. And so, like I was saying on the stream, if you're an offensive lineman and you're watching that game tape and you gave your quarterback 3 or 4 seconds to throw the football and he's not getting rid of it, if you're a wide receiver that's running wide open, you're doing your job. You got in and out of your break. You're open. You're expecting your quarterback to anticipate that and get rid of it, and he's not doing it. Not only is it costing you winning football, but you're costing guys paychecks. You're costing guys stats. And that's something else that we talked about during the stream also. Saleh said he wants to get all these guys paid. Who's going to get paid when the defense is on the field for 40 minutes? They can't pin their ears back and go get quarterbacks. They're playing this soft-ass zone every single week, getting burned on third downs, and the offense can't stay on the field. They're terrible on third downs also. Zach can't complete a pass. And, I'm beyond being pissed off at Zach Wilson. I said it many times. After about 24 hours after the game, I was done being mad at him because it's beyond obvious to anybody that's watched this team for 3 years now that he is the problem. So for Saleh, for Hackett, for Douglas to not realize this and to put this kid in this position, it is sad. It's negligence. And so the blame, a lot of people are starting to bring up Joe Douglas. He deserves so much blame for not having addressed this in the summer, in the offseason. I still don't know right now who deserves more blame because it's hard to imagine that Saleh, that Hackett, if they're seeing these things and not banging on the table for Joe Douglas to sign somebody serious, to make a serious move and save this season, it's hard to imagine he'd be like, nah, screw you guys. You're going to have to play Zach Wilson because he was my draft pick. It's hard to imagine that. Is it possible? Sure. But Douglas deserves plenty of blame for not having addressed this earlier. I still can't figure out the second Rodgers got hurt. If you didn't sign somebody in the offseason, somebody better than Boyle, which again, that's a whole nother conversation. Why is Boyle on the roster if he's not capable of coming in at halftime, if he's not better than Zach Wilson? What was the purpose of having him then? But if you didn't sign somebody in the offseason and you don't believe in Boyle, the second Rodgers went down, that Tuesday morning, a veteran quarterback should have been signed. So now you're reaching the point where you're 1-2, you're going to get blown out on Sunday night, and then you're really going to see this thing spiral. Then there's going to be, quotes in the media from unnamed sources, unnamed player says this. You're really going to see this thing start to go south. And, it sucks for the guys in the locker room because, like I said, I think this team is good enough where they should at least be competing for a playoff spot. If you had competent quarterback play, if you had Mike White out there, you probably beat the Patriots with Mike White or almost any other quarterback. The players know this. So now instead of potentially being 3-3, somewhere around there going into the bye, you're probably staring at 1-5, and this is just it's gonna spiral quick. And the sad part about it is I don't think anybody's going to be held accountable. I don't think the coach is going to be fired. I don't think Hackett's going to get fired. I don't think Douglas is going to get fired. They're all going to come back next year. Zero consequences because everybody made their money. Ticket prices went up. 2-year commitment for a lot of new season ticket holders as well. They got all their money. They sold most of their tickets already. They're not concerned about anything right now. Flush the season away. We'll try again next year. That's their mindset. Nobody gives a shit. To try to sign Trevor Siemian, and again, we said sign somebody, so credit, I guess, for actually making a move, but this was a reactionary move. This was a reaction to what Joe Namath said yesterday, to all the backlash from the fans and the media and everybody else that's going nuts right now. This was just to say, hey, look, we signed somebody. Not the best option to give us a chance to win, but just to say, hey, we signed a quarterback. Not somebody that the fans want to see. Not Wentz, not Colt McCoy, not Nick Foles, not somebody with a proven track record, but somebody that's lost his last 7 starts, hasn't won a game in about 4 years or 7 years, whatever it is. That's all this was. A move just to say that we signed somebody, not a move that's serious about winning. This thing is going to spiral real quick.